the stay-at-home order. You may hear some rather good music happening in the background. Ignore that. I don't know if it can be heard on the camera. But what I wanted to bring to you today was a tapping sequence to address what I would say is a lot of underlying fear that people are experiencing and acting out from. It's very possible that with the acting out, whatever way it shows up, lashing out at people verbally, being impolite to people in your home, being rude to people out on the streets, or just beating yourself up, maybe overeating, who knows. Whatever that is, I would say that a lot of times for many people, it's the fear that they don't want to touch. The fear people feel can be very overwhelming, and they may feel like, I don't want to look at it, I don't want to touch it, for fear that, they may go into a dark hole. So this video is really not going to be everyone's cup of tea. So what I would say is, you're stronger than you think. And if that's not the case, go ahead and click off now. What I'm offering is simply an energy management tool that you can use. If you're someone who needs more than that, I hope that you are in contact with a professional, or I would say, look for alternatives than something like this. But what I'm offering today, like I say, is a sequence of EFT around, perhaps, that's going to include a setup statement with the karate chop points, and then moving through the typical tapping points: the eyebrow, side of the eye, under the eye, the under the nose, the chin, and the collarbone. So what I'm going to start off with is we're going to look at fear. It could be fear of the unknown. It could be fear of the future, fear of being out in public, fear over what's going to happen with your job if you've been furloughed or laid off, fear related to your vitality, your health and well-being, fear over money. Whatever the case may be, we're looking at fear. And like I say, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but the behaviors are coming out anyway. The behaviors that energy wants to express itself somehow, and this is just something that you can do to kind of smooth it out for yourself, okay? So take whatever is happening with you, if it's related to job, if it's related to healthcare, if it's related to what's happening inside of your home as you're quarantining, if it's related to your experiences when you're out in the world. Just take whatever's happening for you and really go inside and be with it for a little bit. I'm going to use the example of fear of the future. It's so stressful. I'm afraid of what is going to happen in the future. I just don't know. And you're going to look at your situation and rate the way you're feeling right now. Give it a number. Typically, what's used in EFT is an SUD, rated from 1, meaning, this is nothing, I feel fantastic, all the way up to 10 to this is unbearable, I'm crawling out of my skin, I don't know what to do with myself. So give yourself in your situation a rating between 1 and 10. And I would say write it down, because this EFT stuff is tricky. Sometimes you end up feeling better than expected, and you don't really appreciate where you started off from. So write down that number on a piece of paper, and we're going to begin our tapping. So again, I'm using the example of fear of the future. You use whatever is relevant to you in your life right now. So we're going to start on our karate chop point. Even though I'm afraid of what the future holds, I still love and accept myself. Even though not knowing what could possibly happen down the road really terrifies me, but I still love and accept myself. Even though I want to be optimistic, but the outlook is bleak. I love and accept myself. Now we're going to move to the points. I'm afraid of what's going to happen. So much is going on, and I never could have imagined. And it's so frightening. I'm afraid. I'm really afraid. I'm afraid because I don't know what's going to happen in the future. This is scary. So scary. I like knowing what's going to happen so I can brace myself. But not knowing is really freaking me out. What's going to happen? What will life look like when this is over? I don't even want to think about it. I can't think about it. So much crazy stuff is happening out there. I think it's only going to get worse, and that terrifies me. Does it have to get worse before it gets better? I can't even imagine what's going to happen. It's terrifying. What's happening in this world is terrifying me. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I feel like I need to know. And not knowing is really freaking me out. I have to admit, I'm actually afraid. I'm afraid of what's going to happen. I'm afraid of what's happening. And I don't want to be afraid. I'm afraid. This is scary. This is really scary. I'm really scared. Okay, so that was the first round, and I'm going to ask you to take an inventory of yourself and how you're feeling. And based on the issue that you chose, rate it again. Have you noticed kind of a softening of the way that you were feeling before you started? What I would say is because it's so dense, because what's happening is so rich with your emotions paired with the emotions of people around you, I would say do several rounds of tapping and always write down the number when you get done. What I could feel with myself was a definite softening, a definite calming, some common experiences that people have when they're tapping is yawning, is some digestion disturbance. Some people get to burping, you might get to farting, eyes tearing, postnasal drip I experience sometimes. There are a number of different physical sensations that can take place as you are releasing the energy. But again, this is a tool that you can use to go directly towards what it is that's so upsetting to you. And when you are willing to go directly towards it, I would say that no more is going to present itself than what you're actually able to deal with. So there's no need to be afraid of that. There may be things to be afraid of, but that's not one of them. This is a tool that you can use to regain your centeredness. If you liked what I had to offer here today, go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and comment down below and let me know about your experiences. What is it that you feel like you might need some more support on? Until next time, see you. Bye-bye.